Hello, friends. Today we are enjoying a roasted green tea. It is called Hojika. I'm probably mispronouncing that horribly, but it's a roasted green tea, and I haven't tried this one yet before. So let's give it a try. Smells amazing, but also kind of weird. Oh, that is good. It definitely it's weird having green tea with a smokiness to it, but it works. It works. It's definitely a green tea, but it has kind of a smokiness to it. So, random. Okay. So, today's story, our Grimm's fairy tale, is called Simelei Mountain. Now, please remember these are Grimm's fairy tales, not exactly suitable for kids, but, live your life. I'm not your dad. There were once two brothers, one rich and the other poor. The rich one, however, gave nothing to the poor brother, who barely supported himself by dealing in grain. Things often went so badly for him that his wife and children would have to go without bread. One day, as he was going through the forest with his wheelbarrow, he noticed a big bald mountain off to the side. Since he had never seen it before, he stopped in amazement and gazed at it. While he was standing there, he saw 12 big, rough men coming toward him. Since he thought they might be robbers, he pushed his wheelbarrow into the bushes, climbed a tree, and waited to see what would happen. The 12 men went up to the mountain and cried, Simelei Mountain, open up! Immediately the bald mountain opened in the middle, and the 12 men entered. Once they were inside, the mountain closed. After a short while, however, it opened again, and the men came out carrying heavy sacks on their backs. After they were all out in the open, they said, Simelei Mountain, close together. Then the mountain closed, and there was no more sign of an entrance. This is a familiar story, isn't it? Sorry. The 12 men departed, and when they were completely out of sight, the poor man climbed down from the tree, curious to know what secret things might be hidden in the mountain. So he went up to the mountain and cried, Simelei Mountain, open up! And the mountain opened before him. Then he entered, and the entire mountain was a cavern filled with silver and gold, and in the rear were large piles of pearls and glistening jewels heaped on top of each other like grain. The poor man did not know what to do, nor whether he should take any of the treasure. Finally, he filled his pockets with gold, but he left the pearls and jewels alone. When he came out again, he repeated the words, Simelei Mountain, close together. Then the mountain closed, and he went home to his wheelbarrow. Now his worries disappeared, and he could buy bread and even wine for his wife and children. He lived happily and honestly, gave to the poor, and was kind to everyone. However, when he ran out of money, he went to his brother, borrowed a bushel measure, and fetched more gold. Yet he refrained from touching any of the precious jewels. When he needed some more gold a third time, he borrowed the bushel measure from his brother once again. But the rich man had long been jealous of his brother's fortune, and the beautiful way he had built up his house. He had also been puzzled by his brother's sudden wealth and his need for the bushel measure. So he thought of a trick, and he covered the bottom of the measure with sticky wax. When the measure was returned to him, there was a gold coin stuck to it. Immediately he went to his brother and asked him, What have you been doing with the measure? I have been measuring wheat and barley, said the other. Then the rich one showed him the gold coin and threatened to take him to court about this unless he told him the truth. So the poor brother told him how everything had happened. The rich brother had a wagon hitched up at once and drove to the mountain with the idea of taking more advantage of this wonderful opportunity than had his brother, and bringing back quite different treasures. When he arrived at the mountain, he cried out, Simelei Mountain, open up! The mountain opened, and he went inside, where he found all the treasures in front of him. For a long time he could not make up his mind what to grab first. Finally, he took as many jewels as he could carry. He was about to leave with his load of jewels, but his heart and mind had become so occupied by the treasure that he had forgotten the name of the mountain and called out, Simelei Mountain, open up! But that was not the right name, and the mountain did not budge and remained closed. Then he became frightened, but the more he tried to recall the name, the more confused his thoughts became, and the treasures were of no use to him at all. That evening, the mountain opened up, and the 12 robbers entered. When they saw him, they laughed and cried out, Well, we finally caught our little bird. Did you think we hadn't noticed that you'd slipped in here 3 times? Maybe we weren't able to catch you then, but you won't escape us now. The rich man screamed, "It wasn't me! It was my brother!" But no matter what he said, no matter how he pleaded for his life, they would not listen, and they cut off his head. The end. Greed is a dangerous thing. All right, friends. Well, as always, let me know what you think of the story. And for now, it is time for your next adventure. I'll miss you. Cheers.